Hello, and welcome back to Two Cups Between. I'm Jordan, here with my best friend Sam.
Hello.
Hi, Sam.
Oh my god.
The technology is technologying today.
The Mercury retrograding is Gator rating right now.
Yeah, big time.
It's okay. We just had a moment of delirium before starting recording.
It's 11:24 in the morning,
not
and we're
even
just losing it.
Yeah, our brains are at 3 a.m. right now for some reason.
I don't
So
know
we'll see how this
why.
goes.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Uh-huh.
I'm in the midst of final season.
Yeah.
I have a final tomorrow.
It's literally Saturday. Sam is referring to Sunday.
Yes, I have
Can
a
you
final on
believe?
Sunday. Listen, it's a clinical final, and those buildings are used up all week because students use them. So, yeah, so those are always on the weekends.
Fine.
It's just how it is. It's not going to be super long. I'm not even that worried about it. Do I sound,
I'm not
cool and
even
calm and relaxed?
worried. Yeah,
Here's
you're
what I'll say.
convincing me.
Well, here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. I literally, when I was getting breakfast this morning, I was giving someone a pep talk about
Mm-hmm.
it because, of course, I was.
Mm-hmm.
They were
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh my god, I have to like prepare and I have to practice, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Listen, I wasn't. I wanted to be like, no, you don't. You have to practice. Don't practice. That's not true. You should practice clinical skills. No one
Right,
listened to
right,
this
right.
advice." And I was like, I have done stuff like this before. I've done exams like this, and I feel like most of it is confidence. And like
Yep.
I spread the good word of delusional confidence to this person this morning.
Good. Good.
I didn't use the word medium slay, but like I really should start a cult.
Yeah.
You know
A
what I
medium
mean?
slay cult.
Yeah. Because I was kind of like, obviously the content's hard, but we learn the
Mm-hmm.
skills. You know what to do. Most of it's intuitive, most of it's very repetitive. And so, like, preparation is part of it, but really, like, most of it is like being confident and being like calm. Because being nervous is when you like screw things up.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I mean, the most nerve wracking thing is that it's timed. Like each thing, I'll tell you the format is like we
Mm-hmm.
stand in front of these mock patient rooms with
Mm-hmm.
a real person there, like a mock patient.
Right.
And we get 1 minute, like the timer starts, we get 1 minute to read the patient's case
Mm-hmm.
of like, oh, this person came in and they like got an ACL, but playing soccer or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
a torn ACL, and blah 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 on this leg, and then it gives you objectives to like what exams you have to do, make sure you do the correct test, and there is like a specific test for this, and follow all the procedures. Then you have to go in. You get 3 minutes to introduce yourself, do all the washing hands
Mm-hmm.
protocol, ask them their name, ask for consent, explain what
Mm-hmm.
you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
ask them if they have pain, put them in the right positions, and do all the things. And even if you do everything and you like forget something or you messed up, you
Mm-hmm.
can say out loud because someone's watching you doing this, like
Right.
someone with a clipboard marking
Mm-hmm.
you on a rubric. You can say like, "Oh, I missed this. I'm gonna go back and do this. What I did as a mistake was this, but what actually I would do is this," and you do it correctly, and you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
So like, which is very nerve wracking to do, but like
Right.
everyone's done it before. Like, oh my god, I forgot to ask the patient if they're in pain, and then you do the thing like, oh, are you in any pain right now? And that's it. Like you
Mm-hmm.
just redo it. And I think a lot of people just like think they're gonna run out of time. So
Yeah.
even if they miss something, they're kind of like, whatever, like freak out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was telling this person, I was like, if you just are calm and you like just treat it as if you're talking to someone, which you are doing, by the
Right.
way, you are talking to someone.
Yeah. There's a real
Um,
person in front of you.
yeah. And like most of these mock patients we've met before, not all of them, but like most
Mhm.
of them, we've done these skills on them or have seen them around. So
Yeah.
it's a little comfortable that way. And yeah, just like try to ignore the fact that you're being timed, because they're timed appropriately. Nothing's going to take longer than 3 minutes.
Mhm.
And like the biggest thing to ignore is the person with the clipboard in the room,
Right. Right.
probably. But if you're also like able to kind of zone in on what you're doing, then you're fine. I was kind of like, most of it's confidence, calmness, just the motivation to do it, and
Right.
you're fine.
Right.
Um, yeah. So they were like, I really needed this today, and I was like, oh god, oh no. And like on the way home, like when I was walking back to my dorm, I was kind of like thinking of those memes of like when you give your friends advice, but your mental health is hanging on a thread, and I'm like, oh my
Yes.
god, damn, I wish something told me to like really motivate me and get me off of my like bad mood, but I guess I'll just do it for someone else. But I mean, I do believe that what I said. So sometimes when I tell
Right.
it to someone else, it reminds me of
Yeah.
the same principles that I already think. So I'm kind of
Right.
like, yeah, I'm fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I
It
was
will
super
be.
anxious in the middle of the week about everything,
Mhm.
but now comparatively, it's fine.
Yeah.
Right before, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. I was telling you this week that like it's not even the stuff that I have to do. It's just like such a short amount of time with many tasks that I have to prepare for.
Right.
That
Right.
is a little nerve-wracking.
Mhm.
But some of those I've already finished this week.
Good. Proud of you.
Then next week we just do that, and then I get to come home.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it, but it's like from this upcoming Tuesday, 2 weeks until we see Paramore.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so
And
wild.
we're less than a week out from Tears of the Kingdom.
Dude,
So
don't
it's going to
even
be sick.
I need to finish Breath of the Wild. That's gonna be my final. After my final, I'm gonna beat Ganon. That's the actual important final, is
I
the
love that.
castle.
That's actually perfect, though. Like,
Yeah.
you've conquered your first year of
Oh,
medical
is this
school. You can conquer Ganon
is a
now.
metaphor?
It's a metaphor for your
I
life.
did get Breath of the Wild during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, look how far we've come.
Yeah. For
You
real,
know?
though, actually.
Yeah.
Wild.
Like, I've conquered the apocalypse, basically.
Yes.
Right? I think it's safe to say.
Yep, absolutely.
Even though apparently more shit happens, that's why there's another game coming out.
Yikes. More things keep happening.
Yeah.
Ugh, when does it stop?
Yeah, good point.
Why can't I put down life for 3 to 5 years like I do video games?
Oh, wow, that's deep. Are we in the Matrix? Sorry. If you're high listening to this, you probably shouldn't. Just don't. Just don't. I don't recommend. We're a little too existential right now, I think.
Yeah, I think this Pluto retrograde is.
Oh,
Woo!
we'll get into it.
Bro.
Okay.
Oh my god.
But let me just say, without spoiling anything, we did record a bonus episode for next week. So I already kind of was venting about these like past couple of weeks. Just a little, because it was fresh and I had to get it out. But like,
you'll hear a lot of tea.
Yes. But let's just say
in a couple weeks.
There's been a lot of, should I say, hateration?
Hateration.
Holleration in this dancery recently.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do you think people might not know what that's from? Like, do you think people are too young to know what that's from? I'm actually a little concerned now.
If you don't get that reference, you're just too young. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, they literally could be 20.
Re-up on your Mary J. Blige lore and let's circle back, okay?
Let's just say Mary is feeling sick in these times right now because it's completely the opposite of her message.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the previous week I was dealing with a lot of like people drama, but like not even. It's kind of just like the environment.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
Mercury retrograde. Like Mercury retrograde was very fresh 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely.
Um, and then this week,
No, it
everything
really
else.
was. Oh my God.
Yes,
I'm
Jordan.
just like thinking about it. It
There was
really
so
was.
much. It feels like so long ago
It
now,
does. Oh
but
my
at the
God.
time, it was like, this is my world that I'm
Yeah.
living in. Now it's kind of like, wow, I need to get
Yeah.
away. Like, how do I come back to
Absolutely.
myself? And
Yes.
even
Oh
that
my God.
process is a little much for me right now.
No, it's so hard. Oh God.
Yeah,
We'll talk about the astrology shortly, but like it's been
absolutely.
so hard. Oh my
Um,
God.
but I'm trying to think of anything else. Like I know I know I was on the whole medium slay thing. I still am, okay?
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. I'm still medium slaying, but I mean, this should have been obvious to me before when I came up with this whole concept
Hmm.
is that like there's a very fine line of like putting your best foot forward and manifesting just like the ease of
Hmm.
doing things, which I
Right.
definitely feel sometimes. And then, it teeters on the edge of like high functioning depression.
Yes.
You know
Ooh,
what I mean?
Lordy.
Because I realize that I've like adapted to do the former, which is just
Yes.
like seem to do things quite easily.
Hmm.
That's just what I've heard from people. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, on the inside, it's really like a lot of self doubt, a lot of like exhaustion,
Hmm.
that I feel like I'm overcoming by doing this little, I don't want to say facade, but it is a little bit.
Yeah.
It is
It's a
a little
little
bit.
fake it till you make it, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So sometimes I'm a little like, is that okay?
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm.
And I think I've been observing that this week. But I also think part of medium slay, the dogma, if you will, of
Hmm.
medium slay is like the reason it's medium is so that you're not like exerting too much of your energy at once. Like you're
Yeah.
delegating it properly too.
Absolutely.
So that's also what I've been working on. I've been very exhausted this week.
Same.
So I've been like, we're still gonna do well, but we're not gonna overexert, and not get anxious about performing as well as before. All of those things, we're gonna
Yes.
like
Oh
toss
my
that
God.
out and
Yes.
still just
Hugely.
do as well as we ought to, like figuring out what that is
Hmm.
without feeling the need to overcompensate
Hmm.
or to just avoid altogether. Just
Yeah.
the middle medium. That's the part of
Yep.
that's part of medium slay. So I think I've been working on that, and
Yes.
wow, it was a long week.
It really was.
Yeah,
This week was my first week of morning training. So I worked 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it was a big medium slay week for me
yeah, good.
because I can't function as well in the morning.
Yeah,
Like, truly, they're asking me to pick up really heavy shit in the morning. And I'm like, I literally can't pick up this box. I need a little bit of time to, like, for my muscles to wake up and
yeah,
for my blood to start actually moving at the pace it's supposed to through my body.
exactly, exactly.
Like,
Do you get to eat breakfast before? Because it's so early.
no, I don't eat breakfast. I make sure I have a coffee before I go. Next
Mm,
week is 5 a.m. to 1 p.m., so it's really
mm,
going to be hard. But yeah, I make sure I have a coffee before I go, which means I'll be up at 4
yeah,
this week.
yeah.
I'm not looking forward to it at all, but it'll be fine. I'll be done with work at 1 p.m. and I'll go to bed at 7. So
Yeah. Oh, how's been going to bed early?
on the one hand, it's been nice. On the other hand, I feel like I'm missing out on so much of my life.
So much of your life happens
Yeah.
after 8 p.m.
Yes, weirdly enough, those hours, it's just like, though I was explaining this to someone this week, but like all of my friends and the people I like to hang out with
Mm,
stay up late.
or are in different time zones.
Correct.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
is true.
like the 8 hours that I work in the morning, I miss out on hanging out with
Yeah,
people in different time zones
right.
because I'm not home, which, is fine. We make time when we have it other days, whatever. But like, I miss out on that time talking to those people. So then I'm after work, I'm like, okay, I am going to hang out with somebody today, or like, I can't wait to watch this thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm so exhausted after work
Yeah.
that it's hard to like have the energy to hang out. So cuz I come home, I take a shower and then I eat lunch immediately and then I have to like push through this sleepy
Mm,
stupor that I'm
mm,
in all
mm.
afternoon, and like then it's time for me to go to bed. But like I finally am starting to feel awake again. and,
Yeah.
and I literally have to take melatonin to fall asleep, and then other people that I would hang out with are finally like done with work and doing things.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I'm going to bed. Good night.
Yeah.
like,
I mean, this is like, I mean, not for the same reason because I'm not on the
hmm
same schedule. I know people who do this in med school. Like they go to bed very, maybe not as early as you, but like
hmm
9 at the latest.
Yeah.
Like my former roommate, who I know I told you about, was very strict about her schedule.
Yes.
She would like, I literally knew her schedule because it was so routine.
I
Like
mean,
I was able
props
to
to
just,
her.
yeah, I was even like able to observe it.
Yeah.
But she was like, if I don't stick to the schedule, I like lose it. Like I
Yeah.
can't handle not. For you and I, we're like a routine, but
Huh?
why?
But why? For what reason?
um, but I mean, for similar reasons, just like how I have to allot my time now is why I'm
hmm
not as active on Twitch or just like with online friends because of the
Yeah.
same stuff.
Right.
Like most of what when we would hang out was like at night, and now I've been so busy throughout the day that nighttime is
hmm
the only time I can study or
Yes.
rest.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Um
Absolutely.
so I don't know. It's been rough. I'm looking forward to the summer.
hmm
I'm trying not to panic that this is the only long break I have for a few years
hmm
cuz for the rest of the time it'll only be like 3-week breaks or like 1 month breaks kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to make the most of it and
Enjoy
have like a
it.
regular sleeping schedule,
Yes.
you know,
Oh my
for
God.
once.
For once.
uh but how else has work been? Other than is it all throughout the whole shift? Is it all heavy lifting or is it kind of like that's the
No,
main stuff in
it's
the morning?
really so, especially in the morning, because we have to have the store ready for customers when they come in, and we
Yeah.
get a truck every
Yeah,
morning.
yeah, yeah.
So, like, it's just for the first. So, this week I'm on the 5 to 1 shift, and the 5 a.m. crew is who unloads that truck. It arrives at 5 or a little before 5. So, um, it's just like a lot. It's like a mad dash to start the day,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So, it's not that it's all heavy lifting really all day. It's not really.
Uh-huh.
And depending on the department, of course. Like if I were working more in the frozen department, sure, those boxes are just pretty heavy all the
Mm.
time. But I've mostly been working in like what we call perimeter, which is like the produce and the deli and the cheese, stuff like that. So
Mhm.
it's pretty relaxed. Like I don't typically have to do a lot of heavy lifting, but
Yeah, like you get the probably the bulk of the stressy stuff out of the way. And
yes,
then
yeah, very
yeah.
much that. It's really like truly it's just such a mad dash in the morning because
Yeah.
basically for like when I have been getting there at 6, all of the boxes are out on the floor and everybody, literally everyone who's working, the mates who are like the managers,
Mhm.
everybody is unloading
Mm.
and putting it on the shelves.
Right.
And then there are people who are like just taking away the boxes and putting them in the baler, like the compactor
Oh
for
my gosh,
recycling.
yes. Yes.
Then there are just people who are doing what we call shares because Trader Joe's is a pretty sick grocery company and doesn't just throw away stuff. They donate it
That is
to
a
local food
concept.
banks
Yes.
and organizations that will distribute the food because not all of it is bad. It's just like we can't sell it anymore.
Yeah.
Like even boxes of strawberries with one moldy strawberry, those will get shared. Then the people who take the boxes will pull out, the moldy stuff, throw that away, and then redistribute all the rest of the
Mm.
strawberries that are still good in that box. But like we can't sell it.
Right, right,
So,
right.
and like with bread, any bread that expires the next day gets shared that day. So like today's the 6th, they will share the bread that needs to come off the shelf tomorrow.
Right.
Again, it's
Right.
not that the bread is bad, it's just the sell by date.
Right,
So
right, right.
I really appreciate that about Trader Joe's, that we try to share as much as possible, um, and like give away a lot of food. So it's not going to waste
Yeah. I
necessarily.
was gonna say,
So
when you're even describing the work, it
mhm.
reminds me when I was a community health worker, we did a lot of food drives.
Yeah.
And basically we took the food that grocery stores like Trader
Yeah.
Joe's donates,
Your
and
local Trader Joe's might share with your
with
with
the
your
food, yeah,
company.
where how we do the food drive, yeah, because
Mhm.
I mean, people line up, and
Yep.
so it's very like we need to get we need to get this going. We need to like,
Mhm.
throwing. We're not really throwing cabbages,
Right.
but it feels like that, So
Yeah.
one person is like, cutting open the bag of cabbages, distributing them to the boxes.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm the one like making the like breaking down boxes and like making boxes to put into people's trunks and stuff.
Mhm.
Even that is like exhausting because you can't
It
stop,
is.
like you're not able to
Yeah.
stop. So I definitely feel you. Very
Yeah.
exhausted after those. I
Yeah,
remember, but
and
they but
this
they
is all
are
at 5 and 6 in the morning, so
exactly like mine were at maybe 7 or
mhm.
8, but that's
Still early,
still
but
early,
it's
but different. It's still different.
yeah.
Still very
Look,
different.
I'm gonna have to get up in the middle of the night to go to work this week, and I am pissed. So,
You say you had to get up at
like,
4?
I will probably actually have to set my alarm for 3:30 or 3:30,
Yeah.
3:45.
Yeah, it's like you're going to the airport or something.
Yeah, so that I can actually be
That's
out
what it
of bed
reminds me
by
of.
4. I need a solid half hour to be ready for work and
Yeah.
have a coffee.
Yeah.
That's what I learned this week, which is fine. It's not a big deal, but I also need to make sure I'm on my shit and I'm packing. I'm like looking in the fridge the night before and picking out what I'm going to take for lunch,
Mm.
or that's going to be hard.
Are you able to have
Um
a shake in the morning? I know it's
I
kind of like
probably could.
I might throw up if I drink this.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
would
I feel in the
probably just
morning.
take it. And
Yeah,
what I
and
would
have it.
do, yeah,
Yeah.
so we usually finish everything on the floor at about, or the store opens at 8. So we usually finish everything on the floor at about 7:45. So everybody just gets to literally take 15 minutes. Like it's not counted as one of your 2 breaks. It's just 15
Oh,
minutes for
nice.
free
That is
that
nice.
you can go across to the bagel place and get breakfast, or the bakery and grab something, because we're in a little shopping center with
Mhm.
both of those things, which is really nice.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, they're like, all right, here's your 15 minutes after we have our huddle, which is like our little just morning
Mhm. Mhm.
meeting. And they do one at night too. But um yeah, that happens like right before the store opens. So we have a little bit of time to
Mhm.
go and do like get food or whatever. But I would probably bring a shake type
To
thing
do it
and
for
have
that.
it then.
Oh my god, then you're gonna get jacked, bro. Like
Yeah.
if you're taking protein right after that unloading fiasco,
Yeah.
yo, ripped.
I'm getting jacked.
Yeah? Are
Yeah.
you bulking up?
I first I'm cutting, then I will
No,
bulk. Okay.
shut up. I hate this. I know I started it, but
You started this
I definitely
metaphor.
started it. That's so
No,
funny.
I've noticed changes in my
Nice.
body
Yeah.
already, which is interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Just
I relate.
observing and taking it in stride. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I focus on the physical abilities. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I can run up this hill on campus without fucking dying anymore. Whew, it is hilly
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, also, things I learned at work this week. If you don't have Trader Joe's near you, I'm sorry, but if you don't have a job and you're looking for a job, I really like want to highly suggest Trader Joe's,
Mm,
um for this reason alone. So, all you have to do is work 28 hours a week
mm.
and you qualify for their medical insurance.
Wow, that
Their
is
medical insurance
fantastic.
is $90 a month, so 45-ish. I think it's like really 43 and change
Uh-huh.
per paycheck for $500 deductible.
Mm.
Mental health coverage is free.
Wait,
All mental health care is free.
is
You could
this
go to
known
therapy.
information?
I don't know. You can go to therapy every single day of the week and you will not be charged for a
Wait,
single appointment.
what?
It's free. There's no
Yo,
copay.
are we getting therapy?
when I get my insurance, which will be August. They do like a 3-month period. So you work for 2 months, I think.
Mm.
Then you have a 1 month, it's called an evaluation period, just making sure you actually qualified for those hours and like
Right.
processing. And then your coverage starts on the first of the next month.
Oh,
So my coverage will start in
hey.
August, technically.
Hey.
But like,
Therapy. I love how this
yeah.
is my reaction to getting therapy. It really is, though. It really is.
Yeah, but all mental health coverage is free. It's like $10 copay on generic meds. Some of them are free, I think. And I think it's like a 15, maybe 20 or 25 on brand name meds, but all of
Wow.
it's covered. You get a free GP appointment every year, general practitioner, just like your regular doctor. You get a free one of those. And if you have a uterus and you need care for your uterus, that's
Mm.
also free once a
Wow.
year. Preventative appointments is what they're qualified under, or what they're classified as. Those are free.
I think I'm shook because the bar really is low.
It
in
is
the
low.
US.
But the
But like
thing
this
is,
is
you
kind of
have to
great.
work 36 hours, which is considered full time
Right.
in most workplaces to qualify for medical coverage if they offer it.
Right. Yeah,
If
exactly.
a job
Big
offers
if.
it. Big if.
Big if for, like a wage, like a wage type job, not like a salary
Yeah.
job.
Right.
But yeah, that's kind of people outside
Huge.
of the US are just like, so like
What? Yeah, but this is
you
huge.
don't get it.
If you live in the US, this is like
Yeah, we're
revolutionary
rugged,
concept.
okay?
Like this is like big shit if you
Yeah.
actually live in the US.
Yeah. That's kind of
And
nice.
at least at my store, and of course this varies based on like who runs your stores, right? But like at my store, the mates actually care about the people, and like
I'm glad
it's
your
still a store,
supervisors are
so there's
nice.
some capitalistic tendencies
Oh yeah.
among, let's say, the captain. It can be
Wow.
the
I love that
case,
they call
right?
them the mate and the captain. So
Yeah, we're the
extra.
crew. So it's the nautical theme is real extra. There used to
Oh
be a
man.
position called the merchant too. So like,
Wow, this is a lot. This is a lot. Is
whole
that the
theme.
cashier?
No,
Who's the merchant?
the merchant is like mate adjacent, but they basically like run a whole area of the store
Oh, like a department
themselves.
head.
Yeah, kind of like that. So
Wow.
yeah,
This is a lot.
it's a lot, but they're phasing out merchants, so no more of those.
Why? Is it problematic wording or is it the position
No,
itself?
it's just the position itself is
Oh,
going
okay.
away. They're doing something else with the merchant, because if you wanted to be a mate, you had to be a merchant first. But now there's just going to be like
see.
a pre-mate trial period. I don't remember what they're calling it, but it's just a structure change. It's not a big deal.
Okay, I see. That's so funny though. Like, why is it a
like,
ship?
I don't know. I really don't know. Trader Joe's to me is maybe not something that I would automatically think nautical theme, but it is.
Exactly.
I don't know. But yeah, anyway, I really like it. I think that they actually care. Like, I only wanted to work 4 days a week because I only wanted to work 4 days a week.
Yes.
And
because
like,
I want
that's
to.
fine. They're like, cool. See you 4 days a week.
So they adjusted like the hours you work each day? Or what did they even have to
No,
do
they
that?
didn't have to change anything, because I've only been training 4 days a week.
Oh, okay.
Which I just really liked.
Mm.
Plus, my right ankle, my ankles have always been pretty weak, but I previously have broken my right ankle, and it just acts up like towards the end of the 4 days. By the 4th day,
oh yeah,
I'm in a pretty significant amount of pain.
We talked about shoes.
We did. We talked about shoes on the pod.
Or was that
right?
last one? I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So I'm in a pretty significant amount of pain by day 4, which I can head off with, ibuprofen and acetaminophen, and it's fine. But like, I just made it clear that like 4 days is really my max. And they're like, okay, cool. See you then.
Wow,
no questions asked, like no
really
argument, no, nothing. Not a thing. So I just really appreciate their like candor, I guess, or like their ability to listen. I don't know.
Compassion.
Compassion maybe. Yeah.
Well,
like,
I think
we're
being candid. We're like a workplace.
I know. I
being
know.
compassionate.
Yeah,
Are we sure?
it's wild.
Yeah, that's really good though.
And it is a workplace and other people work there. So there's always stuff that's going to bother you about other people because that's truly just
You
unavoidable.
started work at a very astrologically chaotic time, I will say.
I did, but it's not been chaotic at work.
Good. Oh
It's,
yeah.
that's
Well,
the thing.
true. Well,
That's
we'll get
been
into it. We'll
a
get into it.
constant.
I feel like work stuff has been mostly fine.
Yeah.
It's the people stuff and the emotion stuff.
Yes. So,
You know what I mean?
work's been good. I'm just like I'm happy to have a job, even
Yes.
if I stand by the fact that I don't want a traditional job, but I don't have any other option right now. And that's okay. I'm glad I have this job.
But it's a pretty good, as far as like conditions wise, a
Yeah.
decent typical job, I think.
Yeah. And the pay is good for like a grocery store job to start at nearly $20 an hour in this state.
Yeah, that's
wild.
really
That's
good.
actually wild.
Yeah.
Oh, I did hear this week that Bernie Sanders is introducing legislation for a $17 an hour minimum wage. So that's interesting.
Yeah. We'll see.
I mean, it's not going to happen.
I don't
I'm pretty
want to
confident
hold
it's
up.
not going to happen.
I just don't. The politics, politics just like stress me out.
I know.
I just like don't believe
know.
anything anymore. And
no, I see a bill and I'm like, if it's demeaning people trying to strip human rights,
like
it's probably
that's
gonna pass.
It's terrible.
We're so optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that'll pass. But if it's something like this, a $17 minimum wage, national minimum wage, which would change people's lives.
Yeah, that sounds like a fucking
it's
fairy tale.
Still not enough money.
Be for real.
Let me be clear. That's still not enough money.
Okay. Yes, that was clear. Oh,
like that's never gonna pass. No. $7.25, baby. Minimum wage has not gone up in 12 years.
Oh.
Guess what has? Inflation. The cost of everything.
Literally everything.
Literally everything has gone
live.
up, but not minimum wage. because
live.
You can still make $7.25 an hour, and you can live. You can have a house. You can have food. No, no, you can't. That's not true at all.
Incorrect.
It actually never has been, but whatever.
Oh God.
It's fine. Anyway, we got to stop talking about this.
Yeah.
I'm already getting upset.
Okay. Here. Okay. Here's what I'll say. Is like we're both medium slaying.
We're medium slaying. That was everything my thing this week.
Yeah. Everything else, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The rest doesn't matter.
It's fine.
Now the delusion is like being aloof. Okay. We're confident, and now it's turned into us being aloof. Is aloofness a word? I had to check.
I don't think aloofness is.
Yeah, but being aloof.
Being aloof.
Okay. That is I really think that's gonna help.
Yes.
Trust me.
It sounds bad. Just
trust me.
Let it all roll off your back. Don't look at it. You're too good for it. Okay?
True. Oh my God.
It's not even on your radar. That's what you need to pretend, okay? That's where we're at.
Like that meme of Squidward lifting up his sunglasses to look and then putting them back down to keep doing what he's doing.
Everybody do that.
Everyone just ignore. Okay.
You can take note.
Yes.
Acknowledge.
Bestie, yes.
That's it.
This is why we're doing a podcast. This is why we do a podcast together. Yeah.
Oh, lordy, dude. It's fine. It's fine.
I've just dealt with so many people being not intelligent or considerate.
Yeah.
Or just logical. What are you
People
talking
are
about?
on one.
Loud and wrong.
Yep.
Loud and wrong. And wrong.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Loud and wrong. And you just have to look at them and say, okay, and move on.
Yeah, you can't get wrapped up in it. Because you're not going to correct someone who's loud and wrong. Because
it's actually not worth it.
It's really not worth it. They're usually going to double down, which is just going to piss you off more. Okay? Yeah. And this...
oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
most people won't even notice that you're being sarcastic either. Jordan. They won't notice. So just do it. I don't even it's not even worth it to get into it. But I always think of this as like when I have interactions and I get so worked up about it and it's like uncomfortable or like it's a weird confrontation, but the other person isn't really taking it seriously. Like, yeah, they're just okay with being loud and wrong. Yeah. Like, even if it's like kind of sexist or kind of racist or like they don't know what they're talking about when they talk about the LGBTQ community, everything. And like, you're trying to correct them and they're kind of like, oh, well, I mean, does it matter? Like, isn't it the same thing as this? And blah, blah, blah. Like, and there's just like no getting through. Yeah. And then I will like think about it for way too long afterward. Yeah. And then I have to come to the realization, like, this person isn't thinking at all about this. No. They don't give a shit about this. And like, me ruminating on it doesn't make a difference. Nope. And it doesn't. It doesn't. It's the same thing with like ruminating about how terrible things are going in the world or how terrible this week has been. It doesn't help. Like, if you're not going to learn from it, and most of the time what you have to learn from it is like to not let it affect you. Yeah. Unfortunately. God. It's really hard. Like, I would love to just solve the problem. That would be great. Like find resolution for everything. Right, but you can't. That's not how life works. It's not. It's not like the fucking Netflix shows, okay? It's not a That's So Raven episode where everything works out in the end. Not That's So Raven. I don't know why that was the thing. Because like everyone was like, oh my god, if I could see the future, would my life be easier? No, she still got into fucking mess. Raven got into so much trouble all the time. Literally every time. It only caused her problems. Watch it this summer. We should watch that. We should have a That's a Raven watch party. Oh my god, that's funny. She only got into trouble because of being able to see the future. Yes. It didn't like, even truly help. Only got into trouble. Like, none of this would have happened. Yeah. If you hadn't had this weird vision that didn't have the full context. Seeing the future doesn't help. Perseverating on the past doesn't help. Yo. Oh. Okay. Oh my god. Is this the best podcast ever? Oh my god. We're geniuses. Breakthroughs right now. Listen. Oh my god. All of this is easier said than done. Let's be real. Shit. Yeah. I feel like we always say this. It's all easier said than done. But, you know, that's like what journals are for. Oh, if you want to be that person and record like video diaries. I thought you're going to be like, and record a podcast with your best friend. You could do that too. This podcast helps me a lot. So yeah, it feels good to just talk to you about bullshit. True. Talk about astrology, have a good time. True. It's fun. So record a podcast with your best friend. Or just have a phone call with your friend. Like, that works too. Schedule a phone call. This isn't that much different from our
Schedule
phone calls. Time with your best friend. No, not really. We're adults. Schedule a phone call with your best friend. Yeah, just
meditate. Go into the astrals
that's
a bit.
Good.
Yeah, take a walk. Stop copying me, Loki.
You know, just and while you're on your walk, observe. Literally, just observe what's around you. Try not to get caught up in your own head. Like. All these things. When we were talking last week, this was after we recorded, I was imitating one of my advisors. Because she's like, Samantha, just
just if you feel stressed from studying, just go walk into nature. My favorite part of the day is getting to walk to lecture, walking across campus, and I feel the sunshine. And sometimes it's the only time I get to go outside because I'm so busy. But that is the best part of my day. And I was like, oh my God. this,
Last week it sounded like bullshit.
no,
Today,
this
mm,
is so true.
it's true.
It's true, bestie. That's what I should have said to this doctor.
Oh my
It was
god.
so funny. Well, at the time, I was like in the throes of it. So I was kind of like,
Yeah.
that sounds great, except like, when do I have time to do that?
Right.
But it's
But
true. It's true. It does help. It does
yeah, but
help.
I appreciate that she also like, it sounds like okay, I'll just go take a walk. But it's like she was like, when I get to walk to lecture. She's not saying she goes out of her way to go on a
Yeah.
walk. It's just appreciating this small part of her day
True.
that is
True.
part of her every day.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate that that's the way she framed it, and maybe
Yeah.
finding those moments for yourself when we're all like over everybody else's bullshit, over
True.
our
True.
own
True.
bullshit, strung out, tired. Like, find the moment that feels nice to you.
Yeah.
I'm starting to appreciate my drives to and from work. That's kind of
Yes.
nice.
In the
From is
early
less
morning.
nice. Yeah, from is less nice because there's more traffic, but in the
Yeah.
morning there's like no one on the road.
Yes, that is
This
really
week it will be
nice.
pitch
That is really
black,
nice.
but last week at least I got to see the beginnings of the sunrise, and
Yeah.
like the first hour of work, it just gets lighter and lighter outside. And I appreciate Trader Joe's because there are always lots of windows. It's not like
Mm,
any other big grocery store where there are no windows. You
that's a
know what
good
time it is
point. That's a
approximately.
good point.
So you get some sunshine, you get to just like, and we work outside a lot actually, like
Mm,
with moving cardboard, and like there's always front displays at our Trader Joe's because there's not a ton of room inside the store, like all the flowers and the watermelons and the ferns right now, those all live outside for us. So you get to spend some time outside too, and like just appreciating that, feeling the brisk morning air is nice
yeah.
for
I
me.
I found a much I mean, it's I don't get to go to the cadaver lab. Oh, well, I do one more time for my exam
Mhm.
actually. But I found a much more scenic route
Oh,
like
that's
in the
nice.
maybe a month or
Hmm.
two ago, where I get to like look out into the ocean.
Oh yeah.
So that's really nice rather than climbing a terrible hill.
Yeah,
I'd climb
that's
a
nice.
less, less terrible hill for a little longer and I get to see
Hmm.
the ocean.
Good.
So as long as I leave on time, I go that way. So
Yeah,
that
that's
that is true.
nice.
Like trying to appreciate it. Like I joke with people all the time that I forget that I live in a tropical island.
Mhm.
Because before, and when I was telling people that I was like gonna go to the Caribbean for med school, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you'll go to." There's no way you'll be stressed because there's palm trees and the sea breeze, and you're on an island. And
Literally, shut up.
majority of the time, I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
Yep.
But it is nice. Like when I do get a chance, it's very easy. Like, oh, let's just go to a pool.
Yeah.
Let's just go to the beach. There's
Let me
many
just go
options.
dip my toes in
Yeah.
the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, I can't do
And
that on
it's so good.
campus. It's very fishy. It's like a fishing bay.
Mhm.
But I can look out into the ocean. I can go on. There's a couple docks. Um, it's very easy, like 15-minute bus ride to the beach.
Cute.
So, yeah,
It's a lot like undergrad, honestly.
yeah. Because there were times where I was like, "Oh, we live near a beach," and then they're like, "Oh my god, we could just go to the beach right now."
Mhm.
you know?
Yep. Us at 4 in the morning. Oh my god, I
Yes.
could just go to the beach.
Wait.
Let's go.
Instead of sleeping, let's go to the beach.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we'll just take it day by day. And listen, the astrology is in our favor. I feel like I say
Yes.
this a lot after everything terrible happens, but
Every time.
it's kind of true. It's kind of true. If you've been stressy this week, I'll tell you why, because there's been a lot. And then this
There's been a lot.
upcoming week will be not perfectly easier, but it'll be a little better. Okay? It might be a little emo.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
But it'll be better. Okay, I promise. I promise. Believe me, okay?
It'll be better.
Just trust me.
what's this week looking like? Do you want to talk about last week a little bit too, or
Yeah,
do you want to?
let's just do a quick recap because there's not a
Okay,
ton this week, but
okay.
there was a lot last week.
Quick recap of April 29th through today. Let's call it today, May
Today,
6th.
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm turning pages. um, April 29th. Wow, that seems like so long ago. Can we believe that we're in May? I
No,
can't.
I can't. I said it was April the other day.
Oh
Still,
yeah, yeah.
I was
Don't
like,
know what
no.
day it is. I don't know what month it is. Um, oh, okay. I remember now. Picking up where we were in the last episode.
In the
Okay.
last episode.
In the last episode, we had like the Sun, sextile Saturn, and the Mars square Chiron, like all of these unique gifts and like our life purpose, all of reflecting on all of that and kind of like jotting some stuff down or taking note of like our bigger goals and
Yeah.
then trying to make some lifestyle changes towards those. Um, so that was where we were last week. It was all about, or not last week, a couple weeks ago. It was all about like work routine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
when a lot of us changed up our routines. That's when you started working. And then we got hit with Mercury retrograde. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
which might have made things feel very terrible. That's kind of where the medium slay comes into play. It's like, okay,
Right.
these are the routines I put into place. I'm going to do my best at them. We're not going to try to like go above and beyond right
Yes.
now because we need to
Yes.
delegate our energy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mercury retrograde is like probably the most well-known transit right now.
Yes.
It's very
People don't understand it, but it is the one that people talk about the
yes.
most.
Yeah. Um whenever people talk like people joke about it and I'm like, "Oh yeah, Mercury is in retrograde right now." you know,
Yeah.
out in the
Yeah.
public. And people are like, "Is it?" Sometimes okay, the reaction I either get is like, "That makes so much sense because everything's in shambles." And I'm like,
Right.
"Yeah, that is pretty accurate." And then other people will be like, "Well, isn't it in retrograde all the time?"
No.
It's not.
It's not.
It's really not. Um, so I mean, what else could we say about it? Like maybe there's like a lot of misunderstandings, miscommunications. If you
Mm-hmm.
tried to talk to someone, like confront them about something, I'm sure it was did not go very well. Okay? And that's okay.
Right.
It's not really the time. People kind of need to sit with themselves. It's not the right time to really collaborate on things, even though we're doing a podcast together. It even
Right.
that was difficult to do and
It
difficult
was.
to
Oh
like
my
plan
god, it
out.
was so hard the past few
Scheduling was really
weeks.
terrible.
It's been so hard for us to get together.
Yeah, so we're not immune, okay?
No.
Even
Just
us
because we know doesn't mean we're immune.
just because we know and just because we're mercurial bitches, okay?
I don't think either of us were born under a retrograde though, right?
I don't think so. I was born under a Mars retrograde. It's
That makes a
giving
lot of sense actually.
self-doubt. It's giving I'm never good enough. Okay?
It's
But
giving.
but as far as talking and communicating,
Oh
I can't
yeah.
shut up.
Yep.
Um but yeah, so here's what's been happening since last week. Okay? Mercury went retrograde. Um
Mm-hmm.
and then Pluto went retrograde on May 1st.
Oh
Just
goody.
adding on to it. So let me tell you, even though I did tweet about it, let me tell you about Pluto retrograde because that happens a little more rarely. Um, and I know we talked about it briefly in like the early episodes when we talked about Pluto moving into Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
So it will start to ingress back into Capricorn during this retrograde. And Pluto, like we said, is a lot about like transformational shifts, sort of like think of like a new generation progressing, being more progressive than the last.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it deals with a lot of like heavy wounding and trying to heal that, trying to like overcome these like huge life obstacles.
Yes.
When it goes retrograde, it can feel like all of the the progress we've made with those things, like maybe our bad habits, or maybe like really difficult breakups, or even like loss or grief, all of the progress we've made to like overcome those things, it feels
Mm-hmm.
like all of that's been taken away for a
Yes.
moment,
Oh my
you know?
god.
So
Yes.
that is why I said multiple times, do not text your, say it with me, ex. You didn't say it with me. Why do you say that with me?
Nope. I didn't say it with you.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
Because it's
You'll all
already.
hear it on next week's episode. You'll hear all about it. So I'm not even going to talk about it
Wait,
right
did we talk
now.
about it? Did
Yes,
we
we did.
record that?
Yes, we did.
Oh shit. We really
Uh,
spilled the tea. We really
that was a
spilled
big
the tea.
episode.
Whoa. Okay, look out,
Hmm.
look forward to that.
Look
Anyway.
forward to next week
um
where all the goss is shared. My god.
whew.
Yeah.
Um, listen, it's already Mercury retrograde. You're already probably getting texts from your ex. And here's the thing, text from your ex can be a literal thing. It is
Hmm.
also, think of it as a metaphor. All of these like past things coming up, like, oh my god, these failures. Oh my god,
Hmm.
like these missed opportunities, and like I should be doing this, and if I was on the right trajectory in like 2018, it would have happened this way. Blah
Hmm.
blah blah. All of that's coming up again. And you
Right.
can't answer them right now. Just don't. Okay?
Yep. Don't
They're
answer them.
coming back to fuck you up, whether it's your ex or these terrible memories or your
Hmm.
bad habits or your addictions or your toxic behaviors that you thought you've overcome because it was your New Year's resolution to stop being toxic. I don't know.
Yep.
All of those things are
Ugh.
coming back to be like, oh, but wasn't it more fun? And like, wasn't it better and more comfortable to be this way? Okay?
Good lord.
That's what it's all sounding like right now. And I get
Right.
it. I get it. But it is just not, it is a delusion.
Right.
You can't let yourself like lose all of that progress you've made, or overcoming. And you've probably made so much more progress than you've thought.
Absolutely. When
So
you
like,
feel this shit start to creep back in,
yeah,
you can feel how much progress you've actually made.
exactly. So focus on that. Like, wow,
Mhm.
this is so jarring. Like this stuff that I was doing probably only a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like, you know, think of it that way instead of being like, well, that's just the person I am and this is what I should fall back into.
Exactly.
I
Like you're
like don't
not
know
that person anymore, obviously.
exactly. Like I don't know. I
Ugh.
just want to like shake you and scream it into your face.
She's talking to me right now.
Yes. Do you feel it? Anyway. Yeah, Pluto retrograde is quite a lot.
It's
Quite a lot.
hard. It's so hard. Oh my god, because like okay, I'm a Pluto dominant person. Like it's
Mhm.
when you calculate my chart, like my planetary weight,
Mhm.
Pluto is my number one. My
Mhm.
Pluto is in Scorpio.
Mhm.
This is a hard transit for me. And
Yes.
I just looked. I was not born under like a Pluto retrograde or a Mercury retrograde or anything like that. I
No, but
have
Pluto being
Saturn,
Pluto
Uranus,
dominant.
Neptune retrograde. Yes, but
Yeah.
like being Pluto dominant, these transits hit me really hard. Very hard emotionally. Like
Mm.
this week has been super hard. Since May 1st, I've been like kind of down. I've had like a lot of issues dealing with my relationships, which is very Scorpio of me.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh and my Mars is in Scorpio, so I've got like this double Scorpio whammy because Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto.
Yes. Yes.
So I have this double Scorpio whammy that just like ends up hitting really hard when one of these planets goes retrograde. um so it's like it's just been so difficult to deal with former relationships and
Mm.
even current ones. I've been like cutting myself off from a lot of people and like I'm just like not interested in dealing with anybody who's romantically tied to me at the moment. And it's like not their fault all the whole time. It's not all their fault,
Mm.
but on top of the Mercury retrograde, which is like making my ex come back into my life in a
Mm-hmm.
big way,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it like I have had a hard time dealing with it.
Yeah.
And dealing with his return to the forefront of
Oh,
like
child.
his like his text thread is at the top of my text thingies
No.
all the time right now because he
No.
keeps texting me. So
No.
like it's very difficult
Mm.
to like emotionally deal with that and then also deal with the person I'm currently seeing
Mm-hmm.
because what they don't believe in astrology and they're getting hit really hard with all of
Yeah.
these things. So and I'm like, I could like we could like talk about it and it might help and they're just like nah, 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 nah. And then they're just
Yeah, see,
there's so much.
it's interesting because I mean I've made some new friends, and
Mm-hmm.
one of them, he's an Indian guy. So when I'm like, oh, I've been into astrology for a long time, because of my family,
Right.
he's like, oh, I get that. And he was like, I don't necessarily believe in it. But when I talk to him about it, he's like, oh, I can understand like why this is beneficial to reflect on. Like
Yeah.
I just appreciate when people are like, I don't necessarily believe in that, but using it as like a way or like a means to like reflect on your actions, sort of philosophize your life, if you will. People respect it, and I just wish that can get through to people. I feel like the pop culture of
Yes.
astrology makes it so hard.
Yes. It's just like even if you're not like, oh, these planetary movements dictate my life, whatever, which they still don't,
Which
even
they
though
don't.
you and I
No
are
one ever
very into
said that.
astrology. A lot of people say that.
No one said that.
But like even if you're not into astrology,
Yeah.
just acknowledging it as a very useful reflection tool
Yeah.
is helpful. Like I don't know. It
It's
just
always
that
the people
can
who are
help.
definitely like, you can tell that they are sensitive to the energies. Like, yeah, I can tell your mood is terrible and you're having a hard time in this aspect. And like
Yeah.
if you really thought about it, it does align with all of these astrological things,
It
but
absolutely does. But you're
it's
just
fine.
being stubborn
It's
and
fine.
saying that
It's
none of it
fine.
matters. And I'm
Like
like,
anyone
okay, I could have told you this a week ago, but you deal
mm,
with this, so you may have been better prepared.
people just don't. People just don't
They
take it
just don't
seriously.
get it.
Yeah, I
Whatever.
try to be like, obviously this is a belief system. I grew up, at least, I mean, my parents don't like uh follow it closely. But my dad does look into it when he's investing.
Hmm.
They looked into it before they got married. They looked into it
Hmm.
when they had children for like important things in their life.
Yeah.
So I always grew up with like, oh, this is a good tool. And
Yep.
like some people use it in like really important ceremonious times in their life, and some people use it daily.
Hmm.
And it was never like an illegitimate thing, which I feel like, I mean, the pop culture is making it more popular, which is nice because some people really are taking it as a learning tool and
Hmm.
preparing for transits like this, where I get like, I'm telling you, I haven't met a single person who's doing well right now.
Yep. I
So
haven't met a single person who's thriving.
yeah. And like, a couple weeks ago, like during the solar eclipse when it was very high energy, maybe it was a little anxious energy, but people were like feeling a little more confident. I
Hmm.
saw that in other people too. Like, I'm not delusional. You
Right.
know what I mean? Um so I don't know. I just wish I could get through to people who don't believe in it. It's frustrating. Not even to
Yep.
like to tell them to believe in it, but to just be like, well, don't you just want to reflect on what's going on with you emotionally? I
Exactly.
don't know. I don't know.
Exactly. But again, this is something for me that comes up with Pluto retrogrades where I have to like deal with my own inner demons
Mm-hmm.
again
Everyone, yeah,
that I've
yeah. It's
moved past and like but I know how to better handle them
Yes.
now,
Yes.
which is the nice part. Again, like there are obvious signs of growth for me.
Yes. Yes.
So I
Yes.
know that this is a temporary thing if I'm feeling bad. And like me feeling bad and grumpy for a
Hmm.
day, it whatever. You know, like I know how to handle myself. I'm an adult, nearly 30. I can deal with
Oh
being grumpy
my god.
and not
That
like
wording.
lash out. I know, dude. Like I know how to not lash out at people and not everybody knows how to do that.
Oh.
So so if that's something you struggle with, I'm
So-
sorry.
yeah. Yeah. And honestly, this is a week to just feel the feelings, to
Yep.
be honest, because I mean, not only was there Pluto retrograde, which is, like you said, Pluto is ruled by Scorpio,
Mm-hmm.
or Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying.
One of
But
those.
also, there was a lunar eclipse in Scorpio
Yes.
yesterday.
Oh,
Um,
yesterday.
so we
Happy
don't.
Cinco de Mayo, a made up holiday.
God, what a holiday. Um, so we don't talk that much about moon transits because it would be a lot. Also,
Mm-hmm.
um, for me, I mean, you and I both feel a connection to the moon cycles for
Yes.
sure.
Right.
Um, but it's very emotional and spiritual and like
Mm-hmm.
hard to put in words sometimes for me
Yeah.
compared to other transits. Um, like I think the best advice I've heard for eclipses is like you don't have to like do anything. Just like
Yes.
feel what's going on. Okay?
Yes.
Like if you need to like break down and cry or if you like feel really energized, just go with that. You don't have to do anything
Do it.
special. Yeah, you don't have to like think about it too much. Just like
Yeah.
feel it. Um so I mean for me sometimes the eclipse it's like building up to the eclipse feels the worst, but the actual day of the eclipse feels amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Oh,
I
that makes a lot of sense
You
now
know
with
what
the
I
way this
mean?
week went.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, cuz I think finally yesterday in the evening, so the lunar eclipse happened probably like 2ish and for 2ish EST, 2
2
p.m.
p.m.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, I think after the afternoon I was like, "Oh, I finally feel okay." And like I was like, "Oh, it's Friday."
It's
I
Friday,
didn't
dude.
even know. Like I didn't even realize cuz it felt so long of a week and I was just like
Yeah.
every day I was like, "What do I got to prep for tomorrow morning? What do I have to do tomorrow morning? When do I have to wake
Yep.
up tomorrow morning?" And
Yep.
then
Yep. Yep.
yesterday I was like, "Oh, I can it's that I mean, obviously I have to do stuff today."
Right. But
But I
you
was kind
didn't
of like,
feel the
"Oh,
impending
yeah, like,
I
oh,
have
I
to
have to
do stuff
present
tomorrow.
tomorrow. I have to talk
Yeah.
tomorrow. I have to discuss this tomorrow." I didn't have to prepare anything like that. So I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, the week is over. Like I did
Yes.
this. I did the thing."
You did it.
So, yeah, it felt like a bit of a relief afterward, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like building up to the eclipses is probably the hardest part. Or if the eclipses are happening in your sign,
Yeah.
um, you probably feel it the most, or even the opposite, because lunar eclipse means that like the sun is in Taurus, the moon is in Scorpio,
Right.
so that axis.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, like that could have hit you very hard, but that's like a very one day thing.
Right.
And you kind of just like feel, reflect. Sometimes journaling helps, but most of the time I'm just like, I just need to like sleep a lot or
Yeah.
like,
I wasn't even aware that it was an eclipse yesterday.
yeah,
Really. I was just like, why am I so tired?
yeah,
Why?
exactly.
All I want to do is like play my game and lay in bed. I
Hmm.
just want to like be quiet.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
gentle, not
Yes.
very like
The
interested in
Taurus,
socializing even though I had to.
yeah, the Taurus Scorpio axis is very much like isolating and relaxing and reflecting.
Yes, isolating and not in like a self-imposed isolation, just
No.
in a like being alone
Yeah, like
because you
retreating,
want to
really.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
retreating away from everything. Like, I just
Yeah.
imagined caves, going into a cave, kind of.
Yeah.
Um,
Yesterday was very I wanted to be more in a cave than I was. I mean, I did play a video game for literally 8.5 hours yesterday. So maybe I achieved that in some respect. But like, oh god, I didn't
Um,
even mean to. Just
yeah, it
happened.
just happens. I've had like 2 days where I slept for way too like more than 10 hours.
Oh yeah, I think I slept for like 12 hours last
I
night.
mean, there were other days where I only slept for like 4 hours. so, so
You needed it.
yeah. So it's just we
You
all need
can,
it. We can all.
yeah.
Here's the thing: the like needing sleep thing. Everyone needs at least 1 more hour of sleep every night. Okay,
Yes.
hot take. So, if you ever feel guilty about sleeping more than usual, just know that you are sleep deprived. Very likely so.
Very likely.
Like, unless you're some perfect person or whatever.
You
I
get
don't know.
exactly 8.5 hours every single night.
Yeah. Or like the exact number you need because 8.5 is
Yeah.
kind of just made up.
Right. 8 hours of sleep is arbitrary,
Yeah, it's
but
pretty
if you're
arbitrary.
someone who like follows your REM cycles and like has got a
Oh,
perfect sleep routine,
please.
please teach me. But also like maybe don't because I'm actually not interested. I'll sleep when I can. I do my best, all
I
right?
do,
I
yeah.
don't want to
I
hear it.
gotta do what I gotta do, okay?
I gotta do what I gotta do. And I don't really, I actually don't want to hear about your perfect sleep routine.
Yeah, it's annoying, actually. um,
Oh my God.
God,
Was that it for
you
that?
just reminded me of my friend who was like, my friend in school right now. He was like,
Mhm.
yeah, when I worked, I had to drink coffee, but now I just like don't.
I just don't need
And I was
to.
like, wait, because we were just talking about like needing coffee or like caffeine
Mhm.
addiction. And he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, like when I had to wake up really early, I would have like a bullet coffee before work. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And I was like, you don't drink coffee now? Because I knew that he got up really early every day. And he's like, no, I don't have to. If I wake up at like 7, it's fine. I'm like, what?
Huh?
You don't need coffee? And he's like, yeah, I just stopped.
What?
And I was like, you didn't feel like like you didn't feel withdrawals or you didn't feel bad for a while? And he's like, no, it's fine.
Sir?
Sir, you went from a regular job to med school and you
And
were sleeping
this
fine.
means you have
And
no more coffee?
yeah, I'm concerned. Like, who
You're
are
something
you?
else.
Anyway, but
Yeah. It's like,
yeah,
I don't want to hear it.
yeah. I don't know.
Which is maybe a theme of like this Mercury retrograde and Pluto. Again, just shut up. Just stop
Yeah, just
talking.
stop talking. This was a long time ago, but I just thought of it.
That's so funny.
Because, yeah, I think sleep is just a big theme, okay? Just sleep more. More than you think you
Yeah.
need to.
The
Because you
thing
probably need
about
to.
sleep is when
Mm-hmm.
you don't, well, your body uses sleep to heal. Honestly, if you really want to get into it, I think a lot of your emotional processing happens when you sleep.
Yes.
If you just like let your body rest, it can deal with a lot of things for you
Whoa.
without your conscious effort, right?
Whoa.
Like literally it helps with your healing, sure, but also whether you dream or not, just making sure your body gets enough rest means your brain is more capable of
Mm-hmm.
handling
Mm-hmm.
the big emotions that you might feel on in your day to day.
Mm-hmm.
Like just allowing that to happen is really important, and I definitely know myself and I know I need a lot of sleep to be able to handle interacting with people,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like so making sure I get enough, at least 7 hours, but preferably 8 to 9 is ideal for me.
I haven't heard these numbers in a while.
I know.
I mean, I did sleep. I just said that I slept like 10 hours. Literally, it's
But
either
that's really
extreme.
unusual for
Yeah,
you
yeah.
at
It's
this
either
point.
extreme right now.
Yeah. Hopefully this summer you can have a little bit
Oh,
more
I can't
established
wait. I
routine.
can't wait to just be
Yeah,
able to
but
sleep
it's
and not
just
have anything
like
to do in the morning.
just don't forget that your body needs that much sleep. And
Yeah.
like if you're like oh my god, just like I've said this so many times lately, but if your body needs you to sleep until like 4 p.m.
Mm.
and you don't have commitments,
Mm-hmm.
just sleep.
Oh, just
Who
do it.
cares that it's 4 p.m.?
Yeah.
Obviously you needed the rest.
Yeah.
Like
Like what?
let it go.
The whole it's a social construct to be like, oh my god, I slept through 4 p.m. I'm a loser. Like,
It's
no,
like
that means
no.
nothing. Like,
It
why?
truly means nothing.
It doesn't mean anything.
Like if it's Saturday, you can sleep until whenever you want. If you want to like help your routine be better, go back to quote unquote normal for Monday, take some
Mhm.
fucking melatonin at like 7 p.m. so you can be
Mhm.
asleep by 9 again.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
obviously, your body needed some fucking sleep. Like, chill out.
Aggressively telling people to sleep. But yeah, those are the two main things last week, but just very heavy, like just a lot at once. Um a lot of people said that they had like emotional breakdowns. A lot of people said that they were talking to their ex.
Yes.
And
Quite a few people said that,
uh,
truly, to
yeah, I was a
us.
little shocked. I was a little shocked because I mean, I never get that much confirmation about astrological stuff. I think
Mm-hmm.
until now, maybe because I'm more open about it.
Right.
Um or I mean, sometimes it's without even a conversation about like, oh, this and that are happening, but people will just
Yeah.
mention it.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. It was kind of wild to see that. I was like, oh shit, this is real. um and I just feel like a lot of people have been like doubting themselves or being like, oh, like I failed before. What if I fail again?
Mm-hmm.
Especially because I'm at the end of the term and like I'm retaking the term.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at the end and a lot of people I'm with were in the same boat. So I think a lot of people are just anxious because at this time last semester we were freaking out about failing.
Right. Right.
So it's almost like muscle memory to do that again,
Mm-hmm.
even if we're not in the same like conditions. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like even if we're doing well and we only have to do well again on all the
Right.
finals, I
Right.
think there's still this fear of like, well, what if it doesn't work out because it didn't work out before, right?
Yeah.
Um so I've just been trying to like block out that noise.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to like gossip and vent to my sister last night. It was very
That's good.
needed sometimes.
Good. Yeah.
And what I was telling her was that I know I mentioned this on one of the episodes before is like I'm just trying to tune out what people are saying cuz I'm recognizing that I'm very influenced by that negativity
Mm-hmm.
more than I would have liked to think. Like I would
Right.
like to think that I'm like I don't care what others think and like it's not even that necessarily, but I'm just like influenced by how others are feeling. And
Right.
if people are freaking out about this thing and that thing and I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
instead of being like, "Oh, I'm cool." Instead
Yep.
I'll be like, "Well, should I be worrying about that?"
Should I be freaking out?
Yeah. And that goes like even beyond school stuff because for some reason people can't stop talking about how like they are sad that they're in med school and other people are getting married or something.
What?
Oh my god. Jordan. Some people are like,
What?
"Oh my god, like if you didn't come into med school in a committed relationship, like how do you find one? And
What
like
the
what if I don't get
fuck?
married in
Who
time? What if I don't have
cares?
kids? And like what if I'll be done with med school and I'll be this age and then I will only have this much time to have kids?" And I'm like, "Oh my god,
Huh?
stop talking about this." I'm sorry. I'm not a therapist and neither is literally everyone else. Why are we all talking about this right now?
Oh my god.
This is terrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, Naomi was just as like perplexed. She was like, "Why is everyone talking about this?" I'm
Why
like,
are they
"I
worried
don't
about
know
this?
why everyone brings this up."
I know a handful of people who are getting married and I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear about
truly,
it anymore.
truly, truly.
Be lucky. Be grateful that you're not dealing with
Well, my
this.
sister was like, "I thought you were gonna be around a bunch of people who were partying and like doing drugs and drinking." I'm like, "Yeah, there's that too, but like, would you rather me hang out with those people?" I tried to retreat from that life, dipped my toes
Mm-hmm.
in and dip one pinky toe every once in a while, okay, when it's necessary.
When it's
And
necessary,
then I
because
run
sometimes it
away because, like,
is.
my God, how are you
Yeah.
guys passing exams?
How do you do anything?
How are you doing this every weekend? But then I go back, and then it's all people who are like this, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Like,
my
oh
god.
no, I have to like plan out my life now. Like,
I
no.
don't want to hear that either.
Like, are you okay? I mean, I
I think we have
understand
bigger things to worry
the
about right now.
societal pressures and like whatever, but I feel like You need to get over it. I don't know. Like, I don't want to process this with you. It's a lot. So
Yeah.
I think a big theme this time, like we're still in Taurus season. Again, stay in your lane and shut up.
Yep.
Just shut up.
Just shut up.
And also just like stop listening too. I
Yeah.
think it's like also
Yep.
the play because people aren't shutting up.
Oh my
They're not
God,
getting the advice
true.
to shut up enough. So it's
Not enough
also
people are
about
listening to this podcast, but we're telling them to be
yes,
quiet.
be quiet. But if you are being quiet, you also need to not listen to
Yeah.
people because they're wiling. I
They
don't know.
really are.
I don't
And
know.
we're about to enter Gemini season. Okay, we're a couple weeks off from Gemini season. You'll be able to talk endlessly soon.
Yes,
So
you'll
just be
talk
quiet for a little while longer.
so much shit.
I promise you, these episodes will just get longer.
Oh yeah, you all should be worried. To be
You
honest.
should
If you think they're long
be
now, I don't know what to
Yes.
tell you. We'll have less time constraints and more mercurial energy. I don't know
Exactly.
how to handle that.
We may need to just schedule in some extra bonus episodes because
Just
we'll
talk
have too much
shit.
to say. Oh my God.
But let me quickly go over what's happening this week because
Oh yes.
yes.
Oh my God.
So this week, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I think the themes of last week was like, oh, the people stuff is annoying and also my emotions are a little difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the people stuff is going to start to get better.
Good.
Like this advice of shutting up, do it for one more week and like it should all even out because Mercury will go direct on the 14th.
Bless.
We just have to figure this out for another week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it'll already start to feel better
Yes.
this week since it'll start where it's kind of like a shadow period of, you know, Mercury's kind of reverbing to go back forward again, it seems like. So still expect some difficulties with communication, some like awkwardness maybe, and kind of like be mentally prepared for that. Get to things early. Expect delays. Whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Expect to leave early because transportation's going to be crazy. Traffic's going to be bad. Okay,
Yes.
just expect it. But that should ease up on Sunday the 14th. So just look forward to that all week. And then other than that, there's some small little transits here and there. Okay, that might be a little emotionally charged if you are like someone who is a little maybe you have a difficult time connecting with your emotions, or if your chart is mostly like earth placements or air placements. There's a lot of watery stuff going on. Okay.
Oh goody.
Well, first I'll say Tuesday is Sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus. Uranus has been in Taurus forever.
Right.
And that has to do with sort of your own uniqueness. And the sun has to do with your self-identity. So kind of like check in with yourself, like we're saying, retreat back to yourself. Sometimes like, I mean, as a very sensitive person and a Pisces, sometimes when I'm too mixy with all these people talking in my ear about marriage and stuff, I'm kind of like, wait, is this stuff that I worry about, or am I being influenced by others? I kind of need to go into my own hole and figure out what I'm about. Get to know me again.
Use the Taurus steadfastness to make sure you re-up on your personality quirks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a personality?
Do you have one, or is it everybody else's personality that you've adopted? Okay, let's just check in.
Is it
Let's
just
take a quick second?
Is it just your favorite pop artist has influenced your personality?
Oh,
shade. Anyway, for no reason, unprovoked
shade.
But yeah, kind of just check in with yourself this week. Think of like the niche things that you like, super nerdy things that maybe are even embarrassing to tell people you're into. Just like dive into those.
Extra unique. Literally,
exactly.
At work, I've had to like tell people 3 things about me, and I'm like, I'm the least interesting person, but I have to just reach in there, and that's something that I need to work on this week apparently, and just think about like what actually makes me interesting, what makes me unique.
Yes.
Why do people like you, you know? Oh my God. Alien superstar again.
Exactly. That's you, bestie.
You're the
alien.
alien
Yes,
superstar.
you're the alien superstar.
Just think about it. What makes you unique? What makes you happy? What are you passionate about? What makes you tick? It doesn't have to
Yes.
be this huge
Yes.
thing. This is like a I really, really like collecting. Oh my god, one of my friends went thrifting yesterday, and this is like something that I love about him. He was like, I'm thrifting and I'm looking for macabre, horror, creepy
Yes.
trinkets. And that's like how
Yes.
he decorates his bedroom.
Oh,
It's something that's so
that's
interesting
so
about him
funny.
and like is so cool and
I
just
love
like
it.
little kitschy things
Yes, this
that
is a
like
good
he ended up
example.
buying like a fucking clown bust.
Yo,
You know,
that's
like, you know,
terrifying.
I know. But I love it for him and I love him for it
Yes.
because it just like it's something that makes him unique and he's so grounded in his personality and like who he is, his identity. Like he's also an artist, so his style, you can see it.
Mm.
He just exudes this
Mm,
and I
mm,
just
mm.
love it. And like so reconnecting with this about you. Like
Yeah, what's your
what are the
aesthetic?
weird what's your aesthetic? What are the weird kitschy things that you like? You know, I think we all need to kind of get back in touch with that
Yeah,
feeling, with
for
that
sure.
vibe.
And here's what I'll say is that like a couple weeks ago there was all this stuff about like what's your life purpose? What's your reason for being on this earth, you know?
Yeah.
That falls in the same vein of like what is it that makes you unique? Like
Yeah.
it's maybe this is like very philosophical and spiritual for some, but like to me what makes you unique, even your weird hobbies
Mhm.
do tie in to like your natural gifts and your
Absolutely.
uniqueness, which will help you find out what you're meant to do or like what you're
Yes.
passionate about. Um, but like take it in a very lighthearted way this week, I would say,
Mhm.
just because a lot of stuff is way too heavy right now.
Yeah,
So like
absolutely.
have more fun with it, and maybe that will inspire you to figure out things that you like to do.
Yes.
Um, so that's like a good theme for the first part of the week. We're still dealing with the eclipse energy because it lasts for a couple days. We're still dealing with Mercury retrograde, so keep that
Mhm.
in mind. And then the later part of the week on the 12th, which is Friday.
Friday.
Yes, yes, it's Friday. We have a few sextiles and trines. So
It's also Tears of the Kingdom launch day
Oh my
for all my
god,
Zelda
that's
fans,
true. What a
Zelda
gratuitous
friends,
day.
gamers. The wait is over
It's also the day
nearly.
of my lab final. Yes.
Woo!
But Mercury will sextile Saturn,
Mhm.
and Venus.
Oh.
Um, and then Venus will have a trine with Saturn.
Mhm.
So communication's already going to start to feel a little better because we're getting closer to Mercury stationing direct. Thank God,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And then we've talked about Saturn like a million times, right?
Mhm.
About your life structures, your routines.
Mhm.
You might be feeling better about those things. Hopefully, you'll have like a
Yes.
little more energy once we're letting go of the eclipse energy and the Mercury retrograde energy.
Mhm.
And then Venus has entered Cancer.
Mm.
Oh, I think I forgot to mention that tomorrow, Sunday. So by the time this episode comes out, Venus moves into
Yesterday.
Cancer.
Yes.
Um, so it's gonna be a little emo, a little emotional.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what I was saying. Like, the stuff with Mercury and communication might be uh lightening up a bit for us,
Mhm.
but it might be a little more emotional because more planets are in watery bitches right now, and bitches as
Woohoo!
in Pisces and Cancer. um, so take it slow with work as well.
Mhm.
Um, be a little gentle with yourself for
Mhm.
sure. It's
Ooh,
not like a
with
very
yeah.
strong Mars placement.
Venus being in Cancer, I think is going to make everything a little more emotional baseline, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we're going to come from a more sensitive place. Just this is another time in combination with the Mercury retrograde and Pluto retrograde. Please don't take
don't text
everything
her.
personally. And
Yeah,
do not text your ex
don't
for
text your
sure.
ex.
But like really don't
Even
not
with
everything is a
even with
personal
current
attack.
partners, yes, even with
Yeah.
current partners, try
Just
not to be a little oversensitive.
I
Okay.
think being emotionally hasty is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
think about the emotional text you want to send before you send it. Think hard. Is this really going to serve a purpose here? Will this help or will this only hinder? Okay, let's just be real. Like,
Yeah.
use Taurus season logic, the little more grounded to
Mm.
access this this Cancerian Venusian energy
Mhm. Mhm.
that
Mhm.
is very emotion. Like, this
Yeah.
is displays of emotion.
Right,
Okay,
right, right. I definitely
let's walk it back. Yeah, just be gentle.
yeah. Because of this Venus trine Saturn. So a trine
Mm-hmm.
placement is always between two signs of the same element.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, water. Water.
Saturn's in Pisces.
Yes, Venus is about to move into Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like we said, don't have a hasty conversation with your partner. It could be again, I would wait until the retrograde's over.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be a event like maybe next week, a good time to have serious conversations with your partner that are a
After
little more.
retrograde is over.
I would say so.
Yes,
I would
because
wait.
yeah, this sextile is going to happen with Mercury still retrograde.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now is not the moment. This week, not the time. Give
But
it a little bit.
yeah, maybe reflect on it a bit.
Mm-hmm. Think about it. Journal about it. Maybe
Journal about it.
talk
Yes.
to your best friend about it, but don't act
True.
on it.
Yeah. And regarding like wealth and receiving money, I was telling everyone to be careful with money.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I would still say the same as we're going through Pluto retrograde, which by the way is
Mm-hmm.
until October, I hate to say.
Oh, good. Goody,
Yeah.
goody.
Until October 11th, Pluto will be in retrograde. So, like, in general, be a little more level headed with your choices. Um, you know, don't like get carried away by impulses. And yeah, just reflect on your relationships with people, your emotional side. But check in a lot with yourself, I would
Mm-hmm.
say, before you go in to sort of find those resolutions in relationships. You'll have the words and like the fuel for it next week,
Yes.
as in the following week, after Mercury stations direct. But
Yes.
probably
After the
try to
14th.
find the words, feel the feelings first.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of it this week, really. I think it's
Oh,
going to
good.
be much less hectic than these past
Mm-hmm.
couple of weeks have been. But again, like I
Yeah.
said, a little more inward and a little more emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's something you struggle with, just like take extra time to do it, get lots of rest, make sure you're still taking care of yourself. And
Yes.
not like neglecting your needs. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of all I got.
Oh, good. That's it.
That's all.
Just
That wasn't a lot. That was fine.
no, it's just been like you said, it's been a heavy few weeks, so kind of thinking about it being an emotional week
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like not really it doesn't bring a sense of relief in any
Yeah.
way, but it just for me that means that I'm now prepared to have another week where I just need to be focused on me. I
Mhm.
don't think I have any external commitments next
Mhm.
week.
Mhm. Mhm.
So knowing that and knowing that like I'm going to be working super early, going to bed super early, it just means for me that I can like truly turn inward and focus inward and
Yeah.
not like get emotionally overwhelmed
Yeah, yeah.
as
I wouldn't
quickly.
feel I know you feel very guilty when you're not able to like socially commit.
Mm.
Uh but again, it's a bad time to do that anyway.
Yeah, it's a bad time. Gemini season is coming. I can like
Yes,
be a social butterfly
exactly.
in a
Exactly.
few weeks. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Ugh, I kind of can't wait. It feels like a lot right now just cuz I'm tired.
Yeah,
But Gemini season, I know it's going to be fun, I think.
I think so.
I think so.
Oh,
Oh, let's hope so.
it's fine. All right. So Sam, what what have you been listening to, reading, doing in your free time?
Free time.
Well, maybe I should phrase that differently right now, but
Yeah. Well, other than lectures,
Mhm.
I gotta say, not listening to a ton of stuff or watching a
Yeah.
ton of stuff.
Yeah, same.
Um, I talked about in the episode that will be released next week about listening to a tripod and
Mhm.
listening to Miles' podcast, which is called Perfect Person. Perfect
Yeah.
Person is hilarious. I highly recommend
I
all of the
need to get on
episodes.
it.
Oh my gosh, all the episodes are 1 hour, no longer. Not like
Not
this
like
one.
this podcast.
Not like this one. And they're just really, really funny. I love the format.
Good.
He's super funny, but also very thoughtful, which is a good
Mhm.
combo. So I'm always listening to that. So that's what I've been listening to this week. Nothing special. Um, when I'm feeling down, which I was a lot this week, I just listened to EXO.
Oh,
So
EXO.
that's most of what I made.
Oh
Like a
my god.
huge, I think like a month ago, I made a huge playlist of all of their discography and all of the solo stuff.
I love that.
so
That's a great idea.
so I just very frequently just put it on shuffle
Yeah.
and listen to that. So
We
maybe
did
I'll
get some sad EXO news this last week.
Yes. Oh yeah, let's
Oh
talk
my
about it.
god.
Let's talk about
So,
it because Kai was a huge part of our podcast launching.
yeah. Oh my god.
Oh
So,
no.
he found out on the 4th, last Thursday,
Mm.
that has to enlist in the Korean military because every man has to do it, right?
Mm.
Korean born
Yes.
man. They
Yes.
all have to enlist by age 30. And he has to leave on this upcoming Thursday, the
Yeah.
11th. They literally found out that he has to go a week before he is leaving.
Right.
Now,
And that's not normal.
that's not
Okay,
normal.
I will say on this cuz I think people do know about this especially because of
Right.
BTS's enlistment.
Right.
But BTS got oh man, I'm blanking on what it's called, but they got like a cultural honorary award basically that has allowed them to get their enlistments postponed.
Mm-hmm.
I think by a year. I don't quote me on that. I don't know exactly what it is.
They were allowed to be delayed. That's it.
Yeah, they're allowed to be delayed. So like some of the members are still 30, but they're like they have like another year or something like that.
And this is Korean age 30, international age 29.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So,
which is another distinction,
that's
right?
this is another thing is that I've just been reading up on it and I've been reading different things is that the government was proposing or was able to pass changing it to international age 30.
Which would just delay it by a year.
Which would just like shift it over a year.
Yes.
And I don't think that has to do anything with BTS. People presume that it was, but BTS had their own thing like awarded to them. That's why they were able to do it.
Right.
And I think the other thing that people thought is that Jongin is 30 in Korean age. So I think people thought that he was able to delay it because of the change to international age, right? Like he's 29 in international age. So I think that's why people thought that he was able to wait because like obviously he didn't he didn't enlist yet and we hadn't heard about it. And there was all this news about EXO having an album come out this summer.
Like a summer comeback.
Yes.
Where they were all supposed to be together and present for promotion and all of this.
So I think that's what people assumed. But I think what actually happened is that I think the company on Jongin's behalf submitted like requests for postponement, which you are allowed to do.
Yes.
For work. And so it seems, I don't know. This is all alleged because the company hasn't made a statement exactly of what happened.
Right.
But it seems that they like went past their limit for postponing his enlistment, which is why he was able to get this letter being like, well, next week you have to do it by this date.
Yes.
That normally wouldn't happen. Usually we'd have like at least a month or so from what I've seen.
Two. I think what was it? It was like 6 weeks to a month before like Bacon's enlistment, which was the last
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, which is when he
So
announced it, but I don't know when he
right,
got his notice, right?
right,
I think he
yes.
got his notice like before that, but
I would
announced it.
assume that he would have gotten it like a couple of months before,
Right. Yeah,
and then
exactly.
told when
Yeah.
they had figured out like what was going to happen with
Mm.
all, because he also released an album, like 3 albums in quick succession
Like
right before his enlistment,
really quickly
so
before.
he was doing a lot of promotion and stuff
And
and
he enlisted
all of
right
that.
on his birthday, which was actually
Yes.
it's actually today.
Oh my god, happy birthday,
Yeah, today's
Bacon.
Bacon's birthday. Yeah.
Wow,
Taurus
Saturday the
King.
6th, 5
Yeah.
6.
Um yeah, and he's been back for a couple months or a
Hmm.
month, something like that. But yeah, so they were waiting on Bacon to return from his
Yes.
enlistment. And it seems like they're preparing a very big comeback,
Hmm.
from what they keep telling us and for how much time it's taking and all of that.
Right.
So I think at the time they thought that with Kai's postponements that he would still be able
Hmm.
to be involved, and he
Right.
has prepared stuff and filmed stuff from what he said and
Right.
recorded. Um, so yeah, like it was obviously unexpected. I heard so many things and like read so many things of like, oh, wasn't he expecting to go? But clearly he wasn't. If he was
No,
that upset about
he was
it.
super upset.
Yeah.
Not that he has to go. It was the
Yeah,
time limit in which he has to
exactly.
go. Of course, this was something that he expected to do probably this year, I would assume.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
And
he
even
was going to have
like
a summer at
it's
least to
yeah, yeah, yeah. He was
work.
saying like I'm only upset because I'm finding this out today and
Yes.
it's not about having to go or
Mhm.
even that I only have a week. It's that I prepared stuff to
Right.
show and that like my group hasn't been able to promote in a few years together.
All together, and they
Yeah.
won't for a few
I
more
know.
now.
I know. It's
Ugh.
really sad.
It's 18 months though, right? They shortened it
It'll
a
be
little
longer
bit.
for him because he's doing public service.
Oh, yes.
So
Okay.
it'll
The
be
way he's enlisting will
I think
make
it'll
it a
be
little bit longer.
26 or 27 months.
Oh my god, what do I do?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
This
so
is what we
maybe
go
listen
through.
to that EXO playlist a little more.
Oh my god. I mean, the EXO album's still gonna come out.
I know,
I'm figuring
but
out what they're gonna do. I'm trying not to be too sad. It seems like they're really sad. The other
yeah, I think
members
they're
are really
all really
sad.
sad
It's kind
because
of
they were gonna have a summer to promote together for the
I
first time
know,
in
and they're
years.
really excited about it, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, it just makes it sad.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. So that's been happening. I think it's made me like not want to listen to any other K-pop. I
Oh,
still listen to my NCT boys, my boys. Um, but that's pretty much it. Maybe I'll link some EXO songs
I
for you
think we
guys
just
to
need to
listen
link
to.
your playlist.
Yeah, we can link the playlist.
You can write notable songs on the playlist, some faves.
True. Yeah, I could do that. But that's pretty much it for
That's
me.
it. Well, for me this week, when I wasn't working, I was playing video games. One video game.
Video game.
Video games. I'm still playing Genshin Impact, sort of, but not this week that just passed, but the week before, Hoyoverse launched a new game.
Oh.
It's called Honkai Star Rail.
Oh, I didn't know
Yep.
that came out. Oh, wow.
Yes, it's
Okay.
out. It's a turn-based RPG, which I'm not super familiar with turn-based combat. I'm not like
Hmm.
a Final Fantasy player or
Mhm,
anything like
mhm,
that, and
mhm.
I honestly have no intention of ever playing those games, so don't ask me to. But it's just a turn-based. It's very Final Fantasy like in the format of the game. So if you like those games, you might like this one.
Mhm.
But of course, it's got the gotcha, the like wishing for
Yeah.
characters
Give me your
aspect to
money.
it. Yeah. But it is an ongoing game, which is very cool to me.
Yes.
For me, I like these games that evolve over a long period of time, like years. I think there's a 5-year plan for this game.
Oh, nice.
So it gets updated. What is it? It's like every 40 days they do a roughly 6-week cycle
Mhm,
for each patch,
mhm.
which is long enough to play all the content if you are playing a lot. Sometimes it's too long. if you play it all really fast. Um, yeah, but it's super fun. It takes place in space. There's all kinds of like
Oh yeah, I remember
shit
seeing
going
the
on. I don't
trailers for
know.
it.
It's very cool. It's very good. I just did yesterday the first really big boss fight that wasn't a tutorial boss fight, right? There are two boss fights so far in the game, and one is the tutorial. The second is a real one, and it was so good.
Really?
Oh my god.
That's
It was
hilarious.
so good. It was so
New
good. I was like
addiction
screaming.
unlocked.
I know, but I've been playing it all day, every day. it's it's too much. I really, really like it. I'm still like figuring out the combat. I don't really like turn-based combat, honestly.
Mm.
But I can auto battle a lot of it. Like I've got my team setups and
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
have their, all of their kits are set up. So like I control that part and make the characters as good as I can make them with what I've
Oh,
got.
this is such a
But
Virgo coded game.
it is. But I can auto battle so I don't have to be the one pushing all the
Oh.
buttons because like I don't care to do all that stuff. The game can do what it wants. I'm not pressed about it.
What?
Um and but it's so much fun. I'm having a great time. I love having a community of people who are also excited about this game too. Like me and two of my friends would just like talk about Star Rail all day. Like it's so annoying. Not for me, for other people, but like it's so good. We're just like really enjoying it, excited about it. Like building teams is different, figuring out like the balance of characters you want to
Mm-hmm.
have, like
Mm-hmm.
who is meta right now, who's not. Like I don't ultimately always care about the meta. I'm not a meta gamer. And if you don't know what the meta is, it just means that like what the most recommended whatever is to beat the game efficiently,
Oh, gotcha.
that's what when people are saying like that's not meta, it means it's not in that like whatever, like this character is not meta, they're not
Oh,
an
that sounds
optimal
obnoxious
character for
for
your team, right? It
streaming.
is obnoxious and I'm not like worried about the meta. um Overall I play characters that I like to play. If they happen to fall into the meta, that's sick. And I like learning about it too. So like a lot of the content creators that I like to watch and learn from for Genshin have like added Honkai to their mix of content, and it's just been
Mm.
like nice to hear new stuff. And like obviously I'm playing this game from, I think I technically started on day 3, right? But like this is a day 1 game for me, so I'm actually really excited to be here from day 1 and see how the game evolves and changes. And the story is already very cool,
Mm.
and I can't wait to see where it goes. So it's been bringing me a lot of joy to play this game. Yeah, I'm just like having a nice time. So
Yeah.
um it's occupying a lot of my time. I have let my I don't know where my Kindle is right now. That's how much I've just been playing this
Oh
game.
my gosh. What about your reading before work with lunch? Or well, I guess your schedule's different.
Yeah, it's different right
So you're
now.
like, fuck that. Fuck the Kindle.
No, I still like read on my lunch, quote unquote lunch break, like more like my breakfast break at
Yeah.
work.
Oh
I
yeah.
still like just try to read and not be on my phone, but I really don't know where my Kindle is right now. I think it might have like been in my bed and it fell on the
Yes.
floor or
Oh.
something and
Oh
I
my
just
god.
haven't found it.
That happens
So
so much.
it
The
happens all the
void. It's
time.
literally the
Yeah.
void.
Yeah, it's fine. But anyway, I'm very much having a nice time playing this game.
Mm. This is your
Yeah,
sun conjunct Uranus. This is your unique little
right.
niche hobby.
I know, my weird. I like gotcha games and nerdy anime video games.
That's okay. I'm just gonna spirograph.
I can't
This
wait. You
week.
are a
I
spirograph
do
bitch. I
like a
love it.
spirograph. Oh my god. People are gonna think I'm so old. They're not gonna know the lyrics I referenced earlier, the Mary J. Blige. They're gonna be like, spirograph, isn't that from like the 60s? Yeah,
I love
anyway.
it. I love it.
um
I read smut novels and play anime video games.
yeah.
You spirograph
And fucking knit or
and
something. I
you,
don't know how to
not
knit.
yet. You don't knit
Not
yet.
yet. Oh,
I love it.
that's
Oh my
funny.
god.
Um, I can't wait for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I love that I keep
I've
wanting
been
to call
calling
it.
it Breath of the Wild 2
I
for so
know,
long.
for
I
so
can't remember the
long.
name.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is it called? Uh,
I can't wait.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to enjoy it with other people too, because I played Breath of the Wild very late.
Mhm.
Um, so like if I talk to people about it, most people who already played it already knew. Like there was no spoiling.
Right.
So I'm wondering how it's gonna go. Like
I
I know
know.
it's open world, but I wonder how like linear
Ooh, I
slash
can't
non-linear.
wait to find
I
out.
know.
I'm so excited. I probably am going to start playing it on Friday since I work Monday through Thursday. And I actually have a 4-day weekend that weekend because I will start
Nice.
actually working and having my own schedule versus a training schedule the next week.
Yeah.
And I work Tuesday through Friday that week. So I have a 4-day weekend where I can like play this fucking game all day. And I am
That's
so
gonna be so
looking forward
good.
to it.
That's gonna be great.
It's going to be a lovely time.
I can't wait to play it all summer.
Yeah. I will take a break from Honkai Star Rail to play Tears of the Kingdom. I
Yes. Can't wait. Well, I think that's it. Stuff to look forward to.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I feel like so much music is coming out this summer, but now I kind of forget. But
I
like
know.
so
I
many
think
people have
we've
been
talked
like
about the Amine
and K Tronada.
that album comes out on Friday, same day as Tears of the
Oh,
Kingdom.
yes. I remember I'm the one who told you that and I forgot.
Yes. Yes.
I
That
can't
comes
believe
out
it.
same day as Tears of the Kingdom. That's gonna be great.
Yes. We should do a review
I
of that. Oh
Yes, we
yes.
should. What else comes out this summer?
I feel like Doja's gonna release something this
She
summer.
probably will release some weird project
No,
that I'm gonna love.
I don't know if you've been following this, but she said that she's only gonna do rap.
Oh yeah, because people were like, she can't actually rap. She just sings.
I
Now.
think she got pissed off and she's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a full rap album. And then I don't know who these people are. Like, I don't know the music industry like that.
Right.
But I did see something on Twitter where like some, I guess, reputable enough person was in an
Mhm.
Apple Music interview and he was like, oh, I heard some like 8 of the tracks and they were like really good.
Thank God.
So I'm sure it's gonna be crack cocaine because the last album was crack cocaine.
I'm ready for a Doja rap album.
It's gonna
Get
be
me through
good.
the summer.
Like, I
just
don't know
wanna
why
be
people
shaking
doubt
ass
it. I don't
and
understand why people
enjoying
doubt
the
it. She's
sun.
shown plenty of her
Of course she
skills.
has. And people are like, oh, Doja's so getting so weird,
Yeah,
so
whatever.
satanic. It's like, have you been here?
Okay.
She's also not getting even close to say like
Yeah.
satanic or whatever
Please
you're saying.
chill, I hate
She's just
that.
being herself and is like tired of being in this pop niche that
I don't
she's been
understand
shoved
what
into.
people want from pop music just for it to be normal.
But like, what are you talking about?
You
First
want
of all,
it to be
pop
Ed
music,
Sheeran?
it's popular.
People just want to listen to Ed Sheeran.
Let's not say we did. So for a little bit, like an early spring album for me was Ed Sheeran's first album.
Yes.
That's a good album. Like
I'm not shitting on
album,
Ed Sheeran.
No, that album is really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Like his sound, his production, it just completely changed after that, and it's never been the same. Okay, it's
Did you
never
not
been the
see
same.
that he was in like a copyright trial? Did you not see this?
No, I literally talked about this last night with my mom and her friend about how he was in a copyright battle with the Marvin Gaye estate.
Yes, but I don't know what it was for actually.
The song was Let's Get It On.
Wait, Marvin Gaye song.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like what was Ed Sheeran's
his song was Thinking Out Loud.
Oh.
So if you listen to them side by side, you're like, okay, but it's really hard to hear without previously establishing this connection.
He won the case.
Yeah,
but he tweeted like, if I lose this trial, I'm not making music anymore.
I would also have stopped. I said something like that because like it was so loose, this connection, that I agree with him. I would have been like, I just won't make any more music if you really think these are connected.
People are like retail workers right now, and it was like people praying and like saying doing
God.
And then when he won, it was just like retail workers all falling to their knees. It's like, oh my God.
Ed Sheeran is on high repeat in retail, okay? It's fine. We get it. If you work in retail, you probably don't like him because you hear his songs 50 fucking times a day, but Look, retail radio
Twitter's a
stations are
mess.
garbage, so you know.
Oh my god,
Twitter sucks, actually.
Yeah, Twitter.
Twitter's bad.
It's bad how much it entertains me though. It's
People
the Gemini.
are so weird.
It's like the epitome of just Gemini bullshit.
Yes. Twitter is for Geminis, okay?
It's for lies and it's for like
Mhm.
just out of pocket mess.
Yep. I love it. I hate it, actually. I mostly don't like it, but it's fun.
Anyway, that's all I got. I'm sure there's more music coming out, but I don't really remember. I hope
I have no idea.
Hallie releases something.
Yes, I'm ready for the Hallie solo project. Give me.
Yeah. I don't know if that'll be the summer, but I know she's cooking something up.
I need the single, okay?
Yeah, just release a single. Exactly.
Give me the single. I don't care if it's 2 months before your album comes out.
Do you want to watch The Little Mermaid this summer?
Yes.
Okay. Just making plans on the podcast. I just really love Chloe and Hallie, both of them.
We are going to go see
success.
The Little Mermaid together. That's it. I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Oh, Espa is coming out.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, and I do think it's gonna be good. They've like tease some of their tracks. So I think it's at least the music is going to be good. I don't know how the music video is going to be. Like, we'll see. Some of their stuff has been weird and their promotions have been all over the place, but I have high hopes. Okay. The girl groups are really just crushing it these days.
Are.
I don't know if you've heard that 50/50 song, the Cupid song that's like trending. I didn't even know it was a K-pop song. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
But like it's a trending sound and I was like, oh, that's a K-pop song. I didn't even realize how much like K-pop is trending these days, like, and girl groups especially, because girl groups tend to not perform as well in Korea as boy groups,
but they perform and so they're not well internationally.
Yes, which is really amazing. I love it.
Yeah,
love it. I'm looking forward to good music.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready to make our summer playlist. We gotta get started.
It's gonna be on fire.
It really is. So we'll link Sam's EXO playlist down below. Yes. I'm not linking Honkai Star Rail. Hoyoverse doesn't need my promotion. Need that. You can look it up if you want. If you wanna indulge or something, okay? I don't know. Yeah, I think that's all we've got today.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Another 2-hour episode in the books. Let's go. All right. Love you.
Yeah,
bye.
Talk to you later. Bye. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. If you like this podcast, be sure to give it a little rating and review wherever you're listening. We'd appreciate that so much. And you can follow us on Twitter at 2cupsbetween with the number 2. And you can email us at 2cupsbetween@gmail.com if you have any questions you'd like us to answer. Or if you just like to jab about astrology, other things, whatever. But yeah, just have a good rest of your week, besties. Stay in your lane. Be quiet. Just don't listen to anyone. Okay.
Just shut up.
Just shut up. Trust me. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I need lots of water and coffee before
another accidental 2-hour episode.
A lot of it was rambling, but it's fine. Whatever.
There was in the astrology section, I like zoned out for so long for no reason.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
And I was talking and I was like, is this relevant?
Yeah, I don't remember. That too. Mercury retrograde's crazy. Oh my god! Like, what did I even talk about?
No, I was just like, wait, is this relevant?
Why does anyone listen to this? God.
Oh my god. All right, when you're
me earlier, is this the best podcast ever? Like me now, like, what the fuck was that?
Worst podcast ever.
Spiraling.
Oh my god.
Okay, wait, let me catch my breath.